Hello and welcome everyone. This is Lavender Sky Panther. It is Friday, August 28th, and today's topic is called Some Kind of Sky. It really was, and you'll see why. It's a collection of images and sky observations happening only on August 17th, 2020 for a specific sunset this time. I'm still at the tail end of a physical move, so I'm still trying to catch up on shows, and I did plan on kind of covering the gamut and getting up to speed in this show. But the more I looked at this one particular sunset, you'll see it just begged for me to just focus on that. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so before we get going, I'd like to say good day, osio, how, buongiorno, guten tag, kia ora, jambo, buenos dias, bonjour, ni hao, dzień dobry, konnichiwa, dobrohoenia, annyeonghaseyo, boa tarde, dobry den, aloha winala, Kalimera, and Guten Tag. And this little starter image is just of yet another Scrabble game board. The game was played today. I just wanted to include it. There's some fun words in there. And also, little question for you guys and girls. I have a V left over, and I could for the life of me not figure out where else it could go. So if you have any ideas of what I could have spelled with the game board as it is, let me know, just for fun. Alright, so we're going to get going now with the sky observations. This is just called Sunset Stumper, Cloaking Crafts. Craft or crafts, plural. So the two photos on the left side are originals, and the right hand is an enhanced photo. And when I say enhanced, moving forward, if you've seen my show before, thank you for coming back. If you're new, welcome. But you will know that enhanced simply means I altered the attributes slightly to see if I could see anything in the photos any better. And so that means I've just adjusted perhaps brightness, color, hue, contrast, a few things like that. So anyway, on the left-hand side, what was interesting was we go from this extraordinary peach situation, a little bit reddish as well, to, in an instant, like somebody just flipped a switch, we go to purple and pink. It was really bizarre. So on the right-hand side, I mean, they're beautiful, but it was just an odd occurrence. So anyway, on the right-hand side, I adjusted some things, and my first question is, what is this? So it looks really pretty odd, cut into here. And then, I noticed that this looked like some type of structure. It could be something on this overall form, and this could be another form. So not sure what is quite going on just by this. So we're going to take a look at a little more adjustments and enhancements to see if we can get at anything else out of this photo. So the upper right is the original again for reference. This one is just the purple pink one, not the peach one. And look what's interesting here is in the top, you kind of get this wisp of a vapor coming down. It looks like whatever this is or these are, it just kind of like flew in, just as the feeling that I get. But anyway, you still see some of this triangular shaped stuff. In this particular enhancement, this looks like this could be some type of object overall, but then again we've got this darker thing happening in here, and not sure still what's going on here, so it's worth looking at it yet another way. So here I'm just turning it mostly black and white. Sometimes when you ditch the color or look at different types of color on an image, it helps you start to see something in a different way, and sometimes it's very telling. So in this one, the darker parts do kind of pop out more. So to me, this looks like cloaking plume or whatever over it. So this may be the true object in their cloaking. However, if you look at these arrows down here, this has definitive edges, that has an edge. So there might be other stuff cloaking in there as well, or this is one overall entity or craft, I'm not sure. So I leave that up to you. As always on this channel, I'll let you know what I see or possibilities of what could be seen. And then as always, if you have any other takes on it, definitely feel free and let me know in the comment section below what you're seeing. Okay, now I'm starting off here with the sunset sequence. It's one of 4 slides. So I am going to zoom through it pretty quickly so I can keep the overall running time on this show nice and tight, or at least as tight as I can. So I invite you on your own leisure to go through each photo, in a little more time. You'll find there's a lot of interesting things in here that I'm not going to be able to touch on. So right off the bat, the first upper left photo, I'm just noticing things are kind of on an angle these days. It's just strange how a lot of the clouds are pitching, either up or down, and just in strange formats. And here it's all very gray. Here we've got some warm color and peach color happening. And then here too, look at this. It's almost like you can almost make out a sphere. It's very strange what's been going on with light quality and cloud quality, let's just say. Then we look dead center in here and we get this ring. It's a definitive ring. You know, it looks here oblique just from our perspective, but it's a ring with structure coming off of it. And then also unusual light source. So we're going to look at that in a standalone image and see what could be happening there. Excuse me. And then here, again, this is going to bring up the issue of we've got warm color beyond where the sun should be setting, but then we have really bright white up here, and we're going to look at that in another photo, a standalone photo. Look at this, how bright that is too. You know, how are we getting this bright white just kind of local above here when horizon is way beyond? Okay, so we're just going to progress a little more, and again, I'm going to have to skip over some of these. This is just an odd-looking cloud, very rectilinear looking, with some peach color on it to the south. So this peach color is actually getting picked up from something from the east side, southeast corner, not the sunset side, but to the northwest. This is just some kind of chaotic cloud disturbances. So I don't know if there's craft cloaking in there, but something is generating that activity in my mind locally, and it seems very artificially generated. Okay, now in this sequence we keep progressing. Again, look at this. Instead of pitching upward on a diagonal, this cloud is pitching downward. So what is going on? Well, it could be going upward depending on which direction you're looking. Nevertheless, it's, you know, the opposite angle of what we saw earlier. Then we got some dark matter back here. At the same time, we have really bright white. At the same time that we have peach and gray. So what, you know, how do we even get that with light physics? Very, very confusing. So we'll have a look at that too in more detail coming up. And again, it's just some oddities in shape and consistency, you know, of what's going on with these quote-unquote clouds. We've got two round things happening with some like figure here. We move along, we get some extraordinary colors, you know, popping up. This looks like a craft back in here. We're going to go take a closer look at that coming up as well. And we just progress along. Again, strange lighting, backlighting, whatever you want to call it, and strange lighting in here too. And strange shape and color, and we progress along, and just look how varied. This is all one sunset sequence on one day, you know, from a very definitive time frame. So, but look at the wild, you know, variety of cloud types and shapes and everything. So to me, this just looks extremely artificially created. And when I say artificially created, what I mean is some source is creating this, not by nature. So this is not like a natural cloud system blowing in. These things seem to be generating on the spot, and I do think it's advanced ET tech. I don't think this is just human-made stuff anymore. I believe we've had like human-made interference, or let's just say manipulation of what's going on with chemtrails by planes or other tech, but you know, this stuff now seems to be replacing that because it just comes in and generates locally and just covers and masks off the sunrises and sunsets. You know, these are more, you know, masking off the sunsets. And then when you get to the sunrises, it's just a whole gamut of, like, whole myriad of every kind of cloud you can think of just thrown in at once, coming in and entering right in front of where you would view the sun. And anyway, I've documented this time and time again and on previous shows, so it's not just a coincidence. I'm basing this on witnessing this happening time and time again daily. Anyway, we keep moving along with our little sunset sequence. Again, we've got these strange cloud material, cloud in quotes, moving diagonally upward, not horizontal. Then we come down to our little mysterious peach gold turning instantly to purple pink situation. And then we've got this leveling. This is to the northwest and it's straight west. We've got this lighter streak, you know, amidst this darker color and seeming density and everything else and texture of whatever's happening as cloud or plasma material. And then, you know, we keep moving along. Again, exaggerated. Look at this stuff. It just comes up on angle locally. There's no way that's a natural cloud system. Anyhow, I'm going to keep moving along and shake my head at the same time. Okay, so now we're going to get into some of the standalone images from those sequences. From the sunset sequences that I just showed you. So here's strange clouds and illumination. So again, we've got this peach and warm color, but yet here it's like intensely bright and whitish. So how is that possible? You know, the sun is back here somewhere, so supposedly, and it's already gone into a warm, you know, warm tone and hue. So it's not like I have a 12 o'clock sun above, you know, so what's causing this? That's when I get back to, I think there is tech happening locally within these cloud systems. I've caught them on previous shows. They're either a white, bright white orb or a crystalline outline of a triangle. It's very small, you know, in size. They seem like they Could be like sensors, or like I said, cloud generators, or color generators, whether it's white or some type of vibrant cyan or peach. So again, why is this area so bright, almost white, right, when we've got the horizon happening here? Sunset at horizon down there. So we'll look in a little closer to see if we can identify why, see if we see any tech causing it. Sometimes I can catch it, sometimes it's not, readily apparent. But it's worth the effort to change and enhance the photos to try to get at what it is. So here we go. A is just where I'm looking at. A1, when you see a 0.1 or 0.2, it just means I've zoomed in and enhanced the photo further, and yet again further when you get to the 2s, okay? So here we are. I'm trying to get at that ball, what's going on. So with more enhancement, see, it really is just white, and everything else has some type of either blue or warm character to it. And then we go to A2, and look at that. This has like a circle or like an ellipse form. Again, looks like a little divot or cavity happening in there. So is this some type of tech or ball generating light? I don't know. Or is it something beyond, and I just happen to catch something weird here? Not sure. Then B is just looking at this triangular shape. And again, this is like deeply shadowed. Just seems like something's going on in there. And as I say, when you go and observe these things, and look at there could be something in here. It's not only just looking at the clouds and observing with your eyes when you're looking at anything with sky observations. It's also just what you feel with your sixth sense, or I joke and say your spidey sense. It's just you feel something is up in there. And this was one of those cases. So even though I didn't get the little money shot of like, oh, there's something in black and white, really clear to the eye, you just know something's back there. So with my camera, the darker it gets, it doesn't do so well with catching things. It's already kind of getting dim out there when I was watching. But you can see, look, darker shadows, some kind of thing happening there with a triangular thing happening in there. So I went to B2 just to try to alter things a little bit more, see if I could see anything in different colors, look at things in a new way with different color. Didn't really get there. So, but at least you can see something's kind of happening. See what you think. All right, here we come to our infamous ring here. It's a perfect ring form. Why is it here? Why is it so low in altitude? These are my questions. We've got definite form work, like little spokes, coming off of here. And then look at this. Why are these bright, almost white? Look at this. Again, it's worthy of looking a little closer. The upper right is the original photo, and you can even see it then. Look at this. In higher contrast, you can see things much better. But you still can see it to the naked eye. All right, so here's a slightly different timing. This happened a little bit later, so our ring was already kind of falling apart if you see my cursor in the lower right-hand image. But we still get these really intense, bright specks. Excuse me, so I zoomed in, changed the contrast, and here we go. You see these specific points. They still remain white, even though everything else turns to a color. So I took this over to A1. Look at this. If you look closely, you can see a circle, and it looks like a cylinder, and it looks like it's happening here too. And if you've worked in stage lighting or theater or any other kind of construction industry, architecture, whatever, there are light fixtures called cans. They call them cans because they look like cans. And that's what these remind me of, lamps, cans. And I do believe there's something to that could be some tech generating that light. Now, why is it doing that? I don't know. Are these attached to a craft? I don't know. Possibly. See what you think. All right, this is called Strange Cloud Pairing and Light Source. So here we go. Right off the bat, look at these two clouds. Is there any way those are in the same family? I think not. It's how do vertical and horizontal clouds just pop up locally, and they're sitting immediately next to each other, and they look nothing alike. So again, I'm being kind of facetious because I already know the answer. The answer is you can't have that in nature, just like occurring like that. So this seems, very much so to me like Cloaking Craft. Whether it's advanced ET tech, if it's interdimensional, supernatural, who knows. I do think because there's A here, I'm catching again white when everything else is like a color. Up in here, A1, it illustrates that even more. That seems to be like the rim of something designed. So I do think that's a Cloaking Craft. This, I don't know why it's doing this and why it's there and why it's that size. That's like no. That's not a cumulus cloud even. That's not a cloud that I know from decades past. Growing up and living pretty much outside and noticing everything. Now here I'm looking up at I'm just noting strange light source, beam pattern, and origin. Looks kind of an interesting, kind of like a very ethereal looking light coming down. So again, I don't know where that source is coming from and actually how it could even, when we're talking, we're dealing with a sunset. Now in this case, everything's kind of heavily masked out and grayed out and veiled in the sky, but still, yet we get these little streams of light coming in from somewhere. Again, as always, see what you think. If you have any interesting angles or perspectives or just fun ones, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks. Okay, give me one quick second. Okay, I'm back. So this is called Red Pink Sphere and Strange Cloud in quotes. So we have, sorry, let me start down the lower right-hand photo is the original. Areas A, B, and C. So A we're looking at, because you look at A1, we've got, again, bright white points, or object, if that's an overall object, when everything else is gray or peach, nothing pure white, but yet that is. B1, we're looking at, just even to the naked eye, you see some very predominant peach color, salmon color happening in there. And so these are just with enhancements on the photos to just try to see if we see anything. But yeah, you see the clear peach color. And what's odd is we have a very whitish cloud when we have very dark clouds nearby or dark object in there and gray. It's just a whole mixture of stuff, all like in the same plane. So what's causing that? And then over here, yeah, why is there this reddish color only here? So when we look at the overall photo here, this would be our B area, letter B. You see almost a sphere. It's really bizarre. Then we go to C1, was just trying to focus on this odd diagonal shaped cloud in quotes. And look at, you almost see like a sphere with a little piece connecting to something else. So to me, that very much could be Cloaking Craft. But as always, see what you think. Okay, strange craft, strange clouds in quotes. So the left-hand side is the original photo. I have an arrow pointing to A. It just looked to me like I caught a Cloaking Craft. A1, we zoom in, look at it a little closer. Looks like something intelligently designed to me, because I see this claw-shaped thing. I see something else that looks like symmetrical and machine-like. So here we go. We're going to look at it even further with different enhancements on the photo. So look at this. It looks like a tuning fork to me. It looks like something machine made, or definitely intelligently designed, as I said earlier. And this too, what is this? So is this a craft, like a little ring-shaped craft? Is that the front or the back? I don't know. Are these things the front or the back? This to me looks like either, cloaking substance, whether it's plasma or water vapor or whatever, wisping in over this thing. And so I'm looking at A, I'm zooming in down here to A1. There you can see that part, which to me definitely looks like very structured and symmetrical. And then we look over here, B, to this part. And that's about the best I could pull out with enhancements and contrast. And look how curious this is. There's like a hole here. To me, that could be an exhaust portal or an air intake or whatever. But look at these 2 points. They're both circles and they're sitting in the same plane. That's very designed. So I'm also looking at some of this stuff, trying to look at it in yet a different way too. Could any of this also be organic, or like an organism? And maybe it's not metallic craft and at all. I'm just throwing it out there because I'm seeing a lot of bizarre stuff lately. If you've watched any of my recent shows, you'll see it. And honestly, I have not been able to pick out any symmetrical or machine-like forms in the sky until maybe like mid-June. It seems to be really ramping up. So pay attention if you're out there sky watching. I hope you are. And please be sure to look at other sky and earth observation, sky watching shows, earth observation watching shows, and compare notes and create your own and come up with your own conclusions. All right, so here we go. Odd clouds and sky colors. This is just another example where the original is in the upper right, and I enhanced it. You get white point here, and everything else is color, solid color. So I zoomed in on it to see if I could get any other better read on it, but not so much. But you can see these things look very interesting. They seem to have an interesting character to them. So see what you see with that as well. Oh, and then here we got this really odd little cloud. I can't even call that a cloud. I don't know what it is. Just for cloud play fun, it looks like a little guy dabbing or disco dancing, whatever. But I can't call that a cloud by, standards from watching clouds for decades, living on this planet. I don't know what that is. All right, so this is called vertical pink cloud in quotes. The upper right is the original photo. The left is with a little enhancement. The true color was somewhere in between. It was really beautiful, but how the heck do we get this thing shooting straight up? And it's such a skinny, narrow cloud. Look at this thing jutting off. So to me, the answer is you can't. You don't just get that in nature. We haven't in decades in the past here. I've never seen such a thing. So it seems to be artificially generated. Again, does artificial mean human-made tech or ET advanced tech or a combination of both? Your guess is as good as mine, but I can tell you that it's not a naturally forming, cloud. And look at this. It's very chaotic, very loosely, not even held together. Is it cloaking something? Why else is it there? Why is it on this sharp diagonal? This too, I don't know. See what you think. Okay, this is called Cloaking Craft with Self-Illuminating Rainbow and Peach Rain in quotes. So what caught my attention on this one was, one, it was happening to the northeast, and yet it was really vibrant when we have sunset happening opposite, and in a way that this wouldn't be catching that light. So that was weird. This was too low on the horizon. But that aside, this looks like it has a little rainbow leading edge on front of it, and this looks like it would be rain, yet it's so bizarre because it's so peach in color. And this overall assembly looked like it was and felt like it was a craft in there, cloaking. Why? Because I see the telltale signs of these weird crystalline structures branching off that seem to be either creating cloud or creating color. I'm not sure. I've documented this in previous shows of why I'm saying that. And then here, this looked like definite shadow and structure here. So we're going to take A and go to A1, and here we go. Those little crystalline points, there they are, very clear, and they're forming a triangle as well. And then B1 translating upward, there it is. Very defined edge and shadow to this thing. That's not a cloud. Clouds don't have edges like that. And then this is designed. It's either symmetrical or it's definitely semicircles with depth and outline edge, to them. And, actually I could really go on and on with this photo, but I'm not going to. So have a look at these on your own time and see what you see as well. All right, this one's called Sky Strangeness Light Form Colors. So these are both enhanced, by the way. I don't have the originals. I just wanted to get to it right away. That this is strange, massive, cylindrical, or truncated, conical light form and shape. And so as you can see, it's really beautiful, very soft coming in. And you just see a rim here, like a hollowed out, truncated cylinder or cone. And then over here to the right, it was just striking the colors, how vibrant. So I have strange, vivid sky colors, cyan and peach gold. So look how intense it seems to be right here. Now reminder, the sun, is going down, happening way down here somewhere. So how is this close to the viewer, in this case me taking the photo, how is it so bright here when there are no clear beams casting up? These seem to be like localized lamps. Look at it. Like this is coming this way, this is coming this way. It's not like the typical little sun down there with the radiating beams. So what the heck is going on, with the scene? And that's kind of going to be a rhetorical question for right now. Just see what you think. Okay, this is called Sky Object and Cloud in quotes. So lower left-hand photo is the original. Just seeing a weird whitish light source down here and an object, seeming object here. So worthy of going in and investigating further. So here we go, enhanced photo even more. Look at this little speck. It looks at first like just like some stray piece of a cloud. Again, cloud in quotes, using that loosely. But it does kind of echo what's happening here with this like triangular shape. So it's overall bigger, triangular shape. So we move in further here at 8.1, and look at this, starts to have dimension. It starts to have a real point to it, and really seems like it belongs with this thing. So I'm going to call this a craft. These little feet coming off the side look symmetrical to me. And then I just zoomed in again, changed the enhancements even further to get to black and white, just to try to look at it in a different way, different perspective, with different color or lack thereof. And again, this just looks like the cloaking material coming all around this thing. What it is, I don't know. You decide. All right, this is called Artificial Cloud in quotes, or Cloaking Craft. Now the upper left-hand photo is the original. The one just below it, I changed some enhancement a little bit. Couldn't really get to too much different. But look at this thing. It looks like, if you look off in the distance, it almost looks like a temple in Thailand or something. Something very like fairy tale-like sitting on the top of this cloud. So I zoomed in. I know it's not really sharp. It's a little out of focus and fuzzy, bitmappy, but I was trying to get at what is going on with that thing. So, and it was at quite a distance for the range of my camera. However, you can see, like, look at this. It looks like a molten candle, like the stuff that runs off the sides. Or it's like, if you're hungry, it's like ice cream that has really run down. But look at it, has definite, like, character that is not of a cloud. It's not a natural cloud. So what is this exactly? I just think it's some type of cloaking material. What it's cloaking, I can't tell you. But down here, even look at this. This is, not natural. So see what you think and have fun with it. Okay, now I like to close the show on a photo of the week, and this time we are on an overpass in downtown Miami looking southeast. And what's interesting about this is just the juxtaposition of this specific form and this specific form. So this is happening closer to the viewer of this photo, and that's further away. But what's weird is this, look at this vapor kind of trailing off. It's all by itself out there, this shape. What's going on? I mean, it almost looks like a rooster, proud rooster, like about to take a step prancing, or a peacock. But whatever the case, it was just odd, and the combination of these two elements just set up for a nice little composition. So anyway, this is a flame tree down here, a royal poinciana. I've covered that on other shows. They're very interesting. I recommend you go take a look there too. So thank you for hovering here a while. I appreciate your time here. It is Friday, so at least where I am. If it is still for you, have a great one. And for everybody, just have a beautiful, gorgeous weekend ahead. Enjoy the now, and know that I wish you the best always, and also send you tremendous peace. Take care, everyone. Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.